Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the TCG Cast channel. It's your boy Zay, the resident Digimon expert here on the TCG Cast channel. And today, we have an awesome battle video for you today. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, on the left, it is the infamous Yellow Ragna deck versus the also infamous security control. Now with Yellow Ragna, this is an infamous deck amongst my community. So I'm very excited to showcase this to the world and have everybody get a taste of what this deck can do. So the Yellow Ragna player starts by hard playing a TK, and he gets a Pulsemon. Now this Pulsemon is the new Pulsemon from set 6 that essentially if you hard play it, you get to trash your security until it gets to 3. Then you gain a memory for each card you trashed in this way. So potentially you can make this a 1 cost to do. But let's see how he utilizes this. So now the security control player has 4 memory, plays Izzy for 4, and there is an Iron Fisted Onslaught, Ragnalordmon, and Omnimon's Worth defeat. So he puts it in a certain way that will probably benefit him later on. And then he plays, what's the next card that he plays? So he plays Ragnalordmon to recover 1. And ladies and gentlemen, we know what that top card is. That is security control doing what is known best for by healing. So now the Yellow Ragna player digivolves to Pulsemon. And then afterwards, he is thinking. So he digivolves to Bulkmon for 2. And now he has 5 memory left to do, or left to utilize. And the kind of crucial thing that Yellow Ragna needs to kind of do, okay. So he's gonna hard play that Ragnalordmon to give our opponent, or to give his opponent 5 memory. Okay. So now he's kind of putting security control in a spot to where essentially security control needs to kill that Briarway, or Ragna could possibly come out. So let's see what our security control friend does over here. So he actually digivolves to Ragnalordmon, which is very interesting because typically you don't do that in a security control deck, especially with Ragnalordmon, because you want to keep that to heal if you're at 3 or less security. So he digivolves to Magna and then uses Iron Fisted Onslaught. Interesting. So Iron Fisted Onslaught, it kills the highest DP Digimon. So he's killing that Ragnalordmon, and now he is pushing his Bulkmon out in the raising area. And now he has 6 memory to work with. Depending on what he has in his hand, he could go back up to potentially a Ragnalordmon here. Looking at his hand, though, it doesn't seem that he's able to do so. I did see a Wyvern's Breath in his hand, so could he potentially just say screw it and just kill this Ragnalordmon? That'll be probably a good play to do, because that even though Ragnalordmon is out there, it can be a brutal attacker essentially, and that's what he does. And so now the security control player is kind of not necessarily in a pickle, but he doesn't have an attacker on board, and he doesn't have the Upomon to potentially use also as a beat stick. So let's see what he does. So he plays the Izzy and Joe, which is a new tamer introduced in set 6. So now if our opponent, or if the Yellow Ragna player essentially puts 2 Digimon on the field, then the security control player is going to have 2 extra memory. So he'll essentially be going to 5. So the Yellow Ragna player is digivolves to, I believe that is Ankylomon? Yes, Ankylomon. So now, so essentially, you kind of have to play out what you're going, or how you're going to swing. And so he's going to swing twice, checks into a Omnimon's Worth defeat, which of course skips the battle and just gets played for free. And then he checks into a Sakuyamon, an interesting tech for the security control player. You don't really see Sakuyamon in a security deck. And so just to pass the turn, our opponent Yellow Ragna plays Starmon, which doesn't necessarily do anything. However, if Yellow Ragna had a board, he could have potentially lowered the power of one of our opponent's Digimon. So security control swings at Yellow Ragna, and apparently there's an Ankylomon on top of his security, which essentially is a security Digimon that plays for free, similar to Zord Defeat. And so now the security control player plays Reinforcing Memory Boost, and he checks into okay, so essentially he puts the Omnimon Zord Defeat on top, and now he passes with or essentially puts our Yellow Ragna player to 3 memory. So now what does Yellow Ragna do? Because he knows Omnimon Zord Defeat is on the top of his security. Knows that for a fact. So he's going to Digivolve into Bulkmon, who again is going to be able to have 2 security checks because he is at 3 or more memory, or 3 or less memory. So he swings and checks into the Omnimon Zord Defeat, and then another Iron Fisted Onslaught comes out, which actually wipes his board. Which actually kind of sucks for the Yellow Ragna player, because now he can't use that Ankylomon as an additional beat stick. And so the Ragna player is just going to play the Pulsemon, not using the ability, and essentially just passing for 3 memory. So now our Yellow Ragna, or our security control player, has 2 Omnimon Zord Defeats. He swings, checks into a Sylphimon, swings again, and checks into a Starmon. So security control is looking pretty good right now. Now, does he use the Reinforcing Memory Boost? He does not. He actually hard plays Magnadramon since he was at 3 security, essentially going back to 5. So now our Yellow Ragna friend over here has 8 memory to work with. And now what does he do? What does he actually do? Yeah, so he is sitting there kind of thinking. I remember at my locals, the Yellow Ragna was kind of calling me out because I wanted to record his record this video with him playing this deck. And so okay, so he hard plays Skull Greymon and Digivolves to Blitz Greymon, which doesn't necessarily help out the Yellow Ragna player. Unless if there's something that could potentially, if there's a Wyvern's Breath in security, and if he can kill the Magnadramon, and then if security control doesn't play anything to kill the Blitz Greymon, he could go into Ragna. But now, okay, so security control is going to play Tai, Kamiya, and Matashita, which lets him swing, or lets his Omnimon check for 2 security. Goes to a Bryway and a Skullgray, and then he swings for game. And that concludes game 1. Oh, sorry. Okay, that concludes game 1. Yes, did not know that he had a blocker there, ladies and gentlemen. But wasn't really that beneficial. And security control takes game 1. Now with game 2 starting, can Yellow Ragna make a comeback? Can he put security control out on the dirt and essentially try to go for game 3? Which is very hard because security control is a very good deck in this format. And so Yellow Ragna essentially lets security control go first. Security control plays, I believe, a Izzy Azumi, which lets him look at the top 3 of his deck, and then he can arrange the cards in any way he wants to, and he decides to just keep it like that. That is a very interesting play. So now with 4 memory, let's see what Yellow Ragna can essentially do. So he's Digivolving the Starmon on top of his Pikmon, and then he Digivolves the Pedomon. So is he just gonna go up the chain? That would be a very interesting play. But looking at his hand, it doesn't seem like he has a level 5 to go up there. So he's gonna hard play Starmon for 3, and then again, then Digivolve to Bulkmon for 2. Sorry about that. So now, with Izzy Izumi, security control is going to go straight to 3 memory. And so now what does security control do? Is he going to kill the Bulkmon or is he going to heal? That is an excellent question. So he's actually playing Mechanorimon, putting Yellow Ragna to 1 memory, which actually sucks for our Yellow Ragna player, because if he tries to swing with Bulkmon, then security control is going to block with a Mechanori, and then the Mechanori can just restand. And it seems like Yellow Ragna was about to swing with the Bulkmon, but he decided not to, and his Digivolve his raising area to a level 5. So potentially next turn, we might see a potential Ragnalordmon play. Alright, so with 3 memory, security control again is going to put our Yellow Ragna friend to 1 by playing Izzy Izumi and I believe Jokido. Yes. Yes. Alright, so now Yellow Ragna is in a predicament. Ooh! So he hard plays a Skull Greymon, killing essentially the Mechanori, but the downside is that he's giving security control a lot of memory. And it looks like that the security control did not boost his memory up to 8, so he actually should be at 8 memory right now. So it looks like a mini misplay from our security control player. Oh, I think now he's going to adjust this. And yep, finally adjusted. Okay, so everything is back in order. Everything is back in order. Alrighty. So now with 8 memory, there's a lot of things security control can do. If he really wanted to, he could play reinforced memory boost to heal again. He could play another one, or he could play Jolt Swarmer to essentially kill Yellow Ragna's board, and then heal afterwards. There's a lot of things that security control can do right now. So let's see what he does. I can tell that he has an Iron Fisted Onslaught. So he's going to do that to kill the Skull Greymon. And now what is he going to do about this Bulkmon? He's going to do anything. He actually just passes the turn. Okay, so that's a very interesting play. So now, potentially, Yellow Ragna can go to a level 6 and potentially go into a Ragnalordmon for free. Who's actually going to swing with Bulkmon first. Checks into a Izzy Izumi and then a Magnadramon, which will kill the Bulkmon. And since he didn't push out his level 5 Digimon out, what is he going to do now? So he actually Digivolves to Blitz Greymon to put our opponent to 1, but sadly with the Izzy Izumi, he's going to go to 3. So, what does a security control player do now? He can definitely hard play Magnadramon to go back to that 5 security threshold, or does he play reinforced memory boost to see what he can add to hand and heal? And so at the moment, both players are critically thinking. And security control is actually going to pass on this one. That's actually very interesting. What is in security control's hand that is making him pass the turn? And I think our Yellow Ragna player is actually kind of shocked at the moment as well. So now with 3 memory, he can definitely Digivolve into a Ragnalordmon if he has it. But the question is, will Yellow Ragna do it? That is the big question. I do see a Labramon in his hand, so he could hard play that for 3 and then Digivolve into a Bulkdramon. But he's actually going to push out the Blitz Greymon. So there's complete potential. Oh, yep, ladies and gentlemen, there it is. Ragnalordmon right there. And then he puts the Brightway Ludramon under it. So now we have a Ragnalordmon that is a security attack 1 rebooting blocker, which sounds very scary. But what's even scarier is the security that security control has, because if it checks into a Wyvern's Breath, then it is immediately dead. Immediately. So he is going in, he's swinging in for 2 checks for 14k, goes into a reinforcing memory boost. Ooh, and then an Omnimon X antibody, which is 15. So goodbye Yellow Ragna. So let's see what else that you can bring to the table. Alrighty, so he is actually playing TK Takaishi. So what yellow card will he add? He's going to add another Pulsemon, another level 3. It's very interesting. Very interesting. So now our Yellow Ragna player is at 4 security, while security control is at 1. Which is actually kind of scary for security control, because you don't necessarily want to be at 1 security right now. Especially with what yellow has. So what is security control going to do? Are you going to pop that reinforcing memory boost to potentially go to 6 memory and do some other kind of plays, or what's going on? What's gonna happen? Okay, so he actually does use that reinforcing memory boost. Plays Holy Wave. That is a card. Oh, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we have another misplay because Holy Wave does not do that. It's actually supposed to just put the top card in the security. So it's actually, I think, supposed to be Zwart Defeat. Yes, so supposed to be Zwart Defeat. And again, ladies and gentlemen, well, so with this type of match, this is a local match. So if essentially if this was a like a bigger tournament, maybe like a official like online tournament or something like that, then that would have probably not been allowed. But for this case, it's just a local tournament. Everybody's here to have fun, so that's so we kind of let things settle out in a certain way. So our Yellow Ragna player digivolves to Labramon and then to another Bulkmon, I believe. And so now, I think if I was a Yellow Ragna player, I would definitely try to build up in my raising area just so that security control doesn't have a reason to kill my things. So what does Yellow Ragna do? He's holding a card. He's thinking about playing, either digivolving or playing this card. And it is Rise Greymon. Okay. Which will pass to 2, but of course with the Izzy Azumi, security control will go to 3. And now he's going to push up the Upamon from his raising area. And so he's going to swing into the security and pray that the Salamon dies, which, oh boy, yes it does. Checks into a Ragnalordmon. And then since Salamon died, he gets to heal since his security was less than 3. And also he was able to draw with the Upamon. So now our security control friend, his hand is a little bit bigger, and now he's able to he was able to heal, so now he can survive the game longer. So what is the next move for the security control player? He either needs to heal or probably just pass the turn, which he does indeed. Okay. So now our Yellow Ragna player has 3 memory to work with. So what does he do? Does he push out the Rise Greymon? Does he use the Rise Greymon's ability? Or does he just keep it in raising and digivolves? Ooh, he actually plays his own reinforcing memory boost. And there's a Wyvern's Breath and a Pedomon. So if I was a Yellow Ragna player, I'd definitely put the Wyvern's Breath on top of that security and then add the Pedomon, which he definitely does. And now he gave security control 3 memory to work with. So now what does security control do? I think if I was security control, I definitely heal here. I definitely try to extend the game longer so that I could potentially win this game. And I know based on his hand, it looks like he drew into a Wyvern's Breath. So it's not necessarily a healing card. So he's actually going to pass the turn. Okay, so now, again, Yellow Ragna back with the 3 memory. So he could potentially use the reinforcing memory boost to go to 6, which would actually be very interesting. Now the question is, does he have the resources? Does he have the cards to digivolve his level 5 straight back into a Ragnalordmon? That is actually interesting. But the only downside of this, though, is that Yellow Ragna only plays 3 Ragnalordmons in his deck. Uh, so that is an interesting thing about this. And we already saw that 2 of his Ragnalordmons are gone. So I believe now our Yellow Ragna player is kind of digging. So he digivolved to the Blitzgreymon, and the security control after that just passes the turn back. And so now Yellow Ragna is essentially sitting here just trying to find its pieces. He probably would really wish that he could add a card from his Yellow Ragna from his trash to his hand, but sadly Yellow doesn't have access to that. Oh, but he digivolves to his own Ragnalordmon, puts the Briarway Ludramon under it, so essentially he digivolved it for free. And now he's going to swing for 2 securities and pray that Ragnalord stays on the field. So the first one is a Magna Angemon, and the second one, ooh, Zwart Defeat. That is not good. Definitely not good for the Yellow Ragna player. Because essentially, now luckily enough, Yellow Ragna has reboot, so he can unsuspend and then turn into a blocker. But if he does block the Omnimon's Zwart Defeat, then even though Omnimon will die, but he will take the Ragnalord with him. So Yellow Ragna is kind of put in a weird predicament right now. A very weird predicament. So with 3 memory, once again, what is Ragna going to do? And he is thinking he doesn't want to play another Digimon because that will just oh well, he does play. Okay. So this is kind of bad in a sense, because now security control is going to go to, I believe, 7 memory. Yes, 7. And then I'm not sure. I don't think he's taking account for the so it seems like Yellow security control has not added the memory yet to his side. So hopefully security control will add that memory soon. But I know both these players are kind of tired after having excruciating battles from the past round. I believe this is the 2nd round of the local tournament that day. So yes, I know some of their plays are not as optimal as I wanted to. And he actually hard plays the Wyvern's Breath to kill the Ragnalordmon. A very interesting play, but technically that Wyvern's Breath should have been paid for cheaper. So he should have been able to put his opponent at 1 memory, but with the TK Kaishi, it would just put him to 3 anyway. So hopefully in the future they both catch this if they decide to play against each other again. But for now, our Yellow Ragna player has 5 memory, and he's going to hard play an Ankylomon. And then after that, he's going to play the Tactical Retreat to put it on top of the security. So this is actually pretty funny, because now security control is kind of in a tight spot. Yellow Ragna has 6 security, as opposed to security control having 1 security, which is very funny. So now security control, of course, is going to swing and then check into an Ankylomon, and now he is on the board. Now the downside of this again is Yellow Ragna essentially has game. Yes, essentially has game. So this is very scary for the security control player. Now I'm not sure what the security control player can do at the moment. Okay, so now, okay, so essentially they double misplayed. So essentially he should not have gained that memory from the Izzy and Joe, but in a sense it kind of evens out from the past turn. So in a way, everything, like I mentioned, evens out. So he's going to play the Lucamon to heal. And now security control has 2 memory to work with. and then he's just gonna play a Holy Wave to put him to 4, and now security control is back up to 3, to a somewhat comfortable 3 security. And so now Yellow Ragna has potentially three guys on the board. So let's see what Yellow Ragna can do. How can Yellow Ragna come back? How can Yellow Ragna beat down security control so they can take it to a game 3? How can he do this? So he's scanning his hand. He has a lot of cards in his hand. I think if I count it, he has at least 8 plus cards in his hand. So he has some tools there. But what does he do? Does he hard play, from the looks of it, another TK Takaishi to search through a security to potentially find a missing piece? Or is there some other things? And so now they're both talking about the Izzy and the Izzy Azumi and Joe Keto. And so now I guess they're fixing certain things. Yeah, there's a lot of wacky misplays going on. But like I mentioned, this is a local tournament, so people are bound to make mistakes. And we're mainly just playing for fun. So don't be too for those that are viewing this, don't be too critical of our players. So now they're both kind of okay. So now Yellow Ragna pushes out the Labramon, and then I think he's just swinging. Yeah, Yellow Ragna is swinging, checks into a Wyvern's Breath, and now what does security control do? Does he kill the blocker Pedomon, or does he kill the poor Labramon? Just the level 3 that's just there. So what he's gonna do? He actually kills the Labramon. An interesting choice. I think if it was me, I probably would have killed the Pedomon just in case if he tried to like evolve into something bigger. But in this case, he killed the Labramon. And also, Yellow Ragna could potentially go to 6 memory right now with the reinforced memory boost. But by the looks of it, that's not what he's going to do. He's going to hard play the Pulsemon. They'll go to 3. And he draws a card. I don't think that's... Yeah, that's not what you're supposed to do. Yeah, I think... Yeah, he takes it back. Okay. Yeah, different Pulsemon. He's going to trash the top card of his security, which is a Wyvern's Breath, so that kind of sucks. And the security control player reminds the Yellow Ragna player that he has a reinforced memory boost. And again, Yellow Ragna can definitely use this. So he actually digivolves into another Pedomon. And then... So now Yellow Ragna's at 0 memory. So what is he going to do to pass the turn? That is a very interesting question. Because sadly, security control is going to go to 7 memory whether he likes it or not. So he's actually going to use the reinforced memory boost to go to 3. But he's going to use another memory boost. Essentially to look at the top 2, and hey, look, it's another Wyvern's Breath. And our opponent's, or in our Yellow Ragna's hand is off camera. There it is. And so now with the Izzy and Joe, our opponent, or our security control player, is going to 7 memory. He did evolve into the Salamon, so depending on how this next turn goes, if he survives, he could push out the Salamon, pray that it dies, and then heal 1. But now security control has a Lucamon, which is now a 10k kind of beat stick, and then the Omnimon's Wart defeat. So now what does security control do? So he uses Lucamon to take out the Ankylomon just so he can kind of secure his just to try to dwindle our opponent so he can't potentially have game. So Omnimon's Wart checks into the Wyvern's Breath, and the Yellow Ragna player kills Lucamon, which is a very smart choice. Because if he would have picked the Zord Defeat, then Zord Defeat would have killed one of the Pedomons, which is not good. And then Security Control actually plays another Lucamon to go to 2. So now Security Control is still in the game. He is still living. So now what does Security Control do now? He has access to black option cards. What is he going to do? Ooh, he plays Iron Fisted Onslaught, which will kill both of the Pedomons, giving the Yellow Ragna 8 memory, but nothing on the board. So now, how does Yellow Ragna come back from this? This has been a very interesting game. A very interesting game, nonetheless. And if you guys like this game so far, then feel free. Don't forget to like this video. Comment how you feel about this video. And if you like content like this, don't forget to subscribe. Please, don't forget. So back to the commentary. So he did you up to Pulsemon, and now he has Yellow Ragna has, I think, at least 10 cards in his hand. So that is a lot of resources, a lot of things to use to potentially get rid of the board that Security Control has. So he uses Reinforcement Memory Boost to gain the 3 memory, and now he's at 9. Hard plays the Hard plays the Rise Greymon, going to 1 memory. Then he uses another memory boost, putting our Security Control player at 5. And he sees another Labramon in a tactical retreat, which he puts it on top of the security. So now, whenever the Security Control player attacks, he will essentially heal 1. So now our Security Control player is at 2 security, and he is trying to win this game, but Yellow Ragna just keeps healing. But is actually kind of healing a bit faster than Security Control. And so he actually swings with the Salamon swings the Salamon to the security, which honestly it was probably not the best move. He probably should have swung with the Lucamon first if he wanted to get the heal. So now he's going to swing with the Zord Defeat, checks to a Skull Greymon, then he swings with the Lucamon, and he checks into another Rise Greymon. So there's a lot of level 5s that are not going to be seen in this game anymore. So now Security Control has 5 memory. He has 2 security, so he can either potentially kill that Rise Greymon, heal, or he could just pass and put the Yellow Ragna player to 3. To 3 memory. So yes, he's actually going to play Iron Fisted Onslaught, putting the Yellow Ragna to 3. And so now Yellow Ragna has to figure out what to do now, because there is 3 guys on the board and he only has 3 security, so it is not looking good for our friend over here. But he actually Digivolves to Bulkmon. And if he swings so he's going to swing a security, and is going to check for 2 he's going to do 2 checks, and is going to have jamming because he's at 3 security. Oh goodness! And they were both Salamons. So does Yellow Ragna have the pieces? Can he get game right here? The only way that it will be possible is I can't talk. But if he has Bushy Agumon, he could potentially have game if he also has Blinding Ray. But sadly, he just plays the Labramon, puts him to 1, and then afterwards, he was thinking about playing a different card, but I think he's going to play... Oh, what card does he play? Does he play the... He actually plays Ankylamon to put our opponent to 4. So now... I believe he's going to go to 8 memory because of the Izzy and Joe. Now, it depends on if he's going to misplay. Oh, I don't think he misplays again. Nope, doesn't do that again. Yes, does not do that again. Alrighty. So now, Security Control has 3 attackers. But the sad thing is that Yellow Ragna could potentially have game. So he's going to swing at the security, hitting into the Labramon, which doesn't kill the Salamon. Security control needs the Salamon to just get deleted so he can heal. But he looks like it's not gonna happen. So he actually swings into the security and checks to another Ankylomon. Oh my goodness. And he swings to Lucamon and it checks to a Briarway Ludramon. So now security control is in a dilemma. Oh wow. So security control plays Droll Schwarmer, which kills everything with a play cost of 7 or less on the board. And now and so essentially he healed with the Salamon, and now it's not looking too good for the and yellow Ragna scoops because he knows he can't come back from that. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of those games. So seems like security control took a 2-0 victory from that, and yellow Ragna tried its very best but could not get there. So if you have stuck around for the whole video, I want to tell you how appreciative I am, and thank you for watching the content. Again, I think we have, for our next video, is going to be another battle video similar like this, but it's going to be Eos Bond versus Jesmon. So stay tuned for that video. But again, it has been your boy Zay, the resident Digimon expert here on the TCG Cast channel. And tune in for the next video. I hope you have a good day. Peace.